I'd say hello, but nobody's here yet. Well, I guess I could say hello because presumably people will watch this afterwards. And I do promise those who watch afterwards that I'm going to be really careful to stay on my train of thought, whatever it is. Hi, Ida. Nice to see you. Because that's a real problem for people who watch afterwards. Because I start talking to everybody. Hi, Gina. Hi, Evie. Alita. Hi. For some reason, everything on my phone is tiny, as if I've got the resolution wrong or something. I don't know. So let me see if I can figure this out. So what I have to do is I've got to stay on my thought as I'm going along with this, rather than to stop to talk to you. Hi, Rita. So I really need to do that for the people who come afterwards because they find it really hard to watch because I get distracted all the time with everything that's being said. With that having been said, I mean, I have been working so hard. I really have been working so hard. And I have at this point, I've gotten two stores set up. The one that I have my own and the one that I have on Etsy. I was up till 3 something in the morning last night creating things. And I'm a workaholic basically. And I get really into it, and then I say, well, only one more, and then one more, and one more. Oh, thanks a lot. I think it kind of depends upon when you catch me. I do feel most of the time that my leg is getting better. Yesterday, it was killing me. I could barely walk yesterday. I really could barely walk. I had wanted to go into one of the thrift stores yesterday. Yes, yeah, I definitely have to do that. But I had wanted to go into one of the thrift stores just to get an idea around here what it would be like if I tried to do the Poshmark thing or or eBay, and how it would work out and what kind of things they have available here, and trying to learn which things sell and which things don't, and what you need to do. So I was going to do that, but I could barely walk yesterday. I was really in a lot of pain. But then it started pouring here, and then I understood why I was in so much pain. So apparently it's going to be that way for a while. I am going to be a great barometer. I think they should hire me to do the weather report. I think that should be what my job is. Um, I could have a green screen here, and we could have that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I had fun with the makeup today, actually, Michelle. I was working with a palette that I really haven't used too much lately, but I started working with it again, and I really love it. It's the Ciate of London one that I had bought, oh, I guess, I don't know, a year and something ago. You do that too when it rains, it really hurts. It really does, and it just makes it hard to function. So, I kind of realize too when I get so into this whole thing of trying to get these things set up in the effort of, having some kind of life that leads me to somewhere, uh, that I don't do everything else that I need to do, which means that the house, I've had so much to catch up with. Yeah, when it snows. Fortunately for you, you don't have to worry about that for a good long time now. Um, I know. I actually should do that again because I love doing it too. I thought about doing it today because I just felt in the mood to kind of do a whole makeup thing today. Thanks. Yeah, oh, thanks, Denise. Yeah, I definitely like it. And this is the Ciate of London palette. It's a palette that I love. I had gotten it not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. It was one of those special kits that they had pouring there too. It was pouring here too. Yeah, that is not fun when you have a cold. But didn't you say that the little one had brought a cold back, or was that, am I delusional? Was it somebody else's little one? Because I know that when they're, it's hard. When the kids are among other kids, they can pick things up, and it makes it very difficult. So it's hard to stay away from that. I remember that when David was young. Oh God, I think I have it. I don't think I have it on this phone. I do. My daughter-in-law sent me a picture of Zach. It's his prom tonight. Look, isn't that incredible? He looks so grown up. He also looks like a giant. He changed his hairstyle. I've never seen his hair like that. Yeah, he just looks terrific. I look at him and it's like, oh my God, he's a man. He's a man. And it's funny because the difference in the height is kind of like what it was with David and Michelle too, because Michelle is short and David's tall. David's not as tall as Zach, but Zach is more like my brothers. Your granddaughter is, oops. Yes. Yeah, I'm very proud of him anyway. He's incredible and he just does wonderful things. So it's all good. And it was nice, but it was lovely seeing the picture. She had promised to send it to me, so it was nice. This is another one. He looks like David. A lot of people tell me that he looks a lot like David. I don't think you can see him all that well in this one. The light is kind of, yeah, it's not working. So, but it's a really good picture. Aw. So there's all kinds of, good news externally. And if I can only pick up some of that good news internally, um, that would be really nice. Hi, Kathy. So, yeah, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. I just don't know. I feel like I'm doing something really wrong somewhere. And I'm not exactly sure where yet. Yeah, I think they do. With clothing holes, I know. Oops. I almost accidentally put you in timeout again. Ha ha. Yeah, I know. I actually, yeah, but I need to get a few more pieces. By the way, I noticed that they sent out a few of the packages. So a few people who are waiting for the stuff, they did send it out. I didn't go to the thrift store. I wanted to go yesterday, but I could hardly walk. My leg was killing me yesterday, and now I know why. So I'm going to try to go tomorrow. I actually spoke to Linda today, and I asked her if she would go with me, and maybe if there were any garage sales or anything, we can kind of do that, because this way I can get a feel for, hi Melissa, I can get a feel for, hi Pat. Pat, I think your stuff went out. Yes, yes. So, because she's been really depressed and she hasn't wanted to do anything. So I said, "You'll come out with me tomorrow. We'll take a ride and we'll go into." You stopped at Goodwill, all junk. Yeah, Goodwill here closed. I understand there's one more Goodwill that is also going to close. So, oh, you did. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear what you think of it. Um, I also put in some styles for the leggings in the plus sizes, and I think it goes up to 5X, 4X, something like that. Susan always finds things. Yeah, I know. Is hers a Goodwill? She gets great things. She really does. But here, as I say, there was a local one, but it closed, and I looked one up, and it was only a few more towns farther away, and they said it was closing. So apparently those stores don't do well here. But I'm going to try to find one or two and try to go in. I want to take a look and see some of the stuff because I've been watching a lot of videos on how to sell on those, those places. So if I can find a way to make it work, that would be great. It's a lot more physical work. So I have to see how I can do that and how I can make it work and if I'm savvy enough to do it. Closing, yeah, closing here. It looks like kids rent. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to try to sell on Poshmark. I'm a little bit afraid of eBay. I can't start to put anything on Poshmark in case anybody wants it right away because I have to get mailing things. Now, one of the women whose video I watched, she showed that I think she said that she does a lot of the poly mailers. You bought one of those cases. What are those cases? From Bulk? I don't know what that is. You wouldn't have the nerve to donate some of that stuff? I mean, some of the stuff that I see, people get some nice, they also get some really ugly stuff that they put out there and they seem to sell. So I know Lauren says all the time that everything sells. So I guess things sell, but wow, I don't know. So I want to dip my toe in that pond. But as I say, I need to get something to mail the stuff in, and I've got to get toner for my printer so I can print the labels out if I'm so lucky as to actually sell some of the things. So, yeah, I think my favorite person to watch so far is that Nicole that I told you about because she shows you just the way it is. Other people will talk about their hauls. Excuse me. I watched one today. I don't remember. Go to the website. What? For $1,000? Wow, that's incredible. You know, you're right. You really can buy a new print, but I can't buy a new printer. I just can't do it. Really? Oh, and that's what I heard. One person was not one, more than one. I've seen them complaining on those videos where people talk about their hauls, and they talk about how awful the people are to buy this stuff from Goodwill because they're taking it away from the people who need to buy it. And what they all say is the same thing, that they don't know what they're talking about because the stuff that they are buying is a small percentage of what they do have there, and that they do have high end, and that they do have the so much other stuff that they throw in the garbage, they really throw away. So it's just not a valid thing. New socks, never used. Apparently, they have a lot of things with tags still on them, which shouldn't shock me. Oh yeah, I can get that, Gina, that you'd be afraid. But if they really want to do this, they will find something. They will find something. The Goodwill owner takes a percent. Everybody takes a percentage of everything. I swear. You gave full price, they asked. There, I noticed that, well, the girl today on the video was saying that she was talking about things that she put out and things that she sold, right? Things that she sold from Monday through Wednesday, only 3 days. Some have PTSD. Wow. So she was saying that she sold from Monday to Wednesday. It was 400 something dollars worth of stuff on Monday, 500 something on Tuesday, and 400 something on Wednesday. So, I mean, it came out to like $1,400 for the 3 days. And she said, of course, that was the gross. And then you have to take off what the 20% that Poshmark takes. And then you have to also allow for whatever it is that you paid for the item. So that was interesting. But as I say, for me, being a newbie, not even yet, a wannabe newbie, learning all the things that she does and showing how to list things quickly and do all of that really is helpful. So I'm going to see. I'm going to try it all. I'm going to hope that something works. Maybe a little piece of this and a little piece of that. Because again, we're talking about survival here. They weren't ready to sell. Yeah, that happens sometimes where they get a buyer and they're not quite ready to sell. But believe me, the minute they find something, it's going to all turn around because that's the way it goes. And real estate is by nature a dance. And somehow it always works out. It's just getting all the pieces to kind of line up. But it does work. I really wish I could do a little bit of my real estate just to kind of, have some normal income coming in while I try to get all this other stuff started. So it would be enormously helpful. But so far, it seems to be just outside my grasp, just barely. But it is what it is, and I have to trust God that He knows the road better than I do. I'm sure He sees it better than I do. So it is what it is. And yeah, yes. The physical therapist, it's interesting. Yeah, hi, Lauren. Oh, the physical therapist, when I got to speak to him again, because I asked him exactly what it was he was looking for, he was telling me, and then he told me he's been looking for 2 years. So there's no reason to be looking for 2 years if you really seriously want to do this, because there are things out there always. So whether he's looking for some incredible deal, I don't know. But I'm certainly going to try, but it's not as good a thing as when somebody comes to you and says, I want to sell my house or I need to buy a house. And this is the way it is. So again, I have to let the days play out as they do and just see where it all takes me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, but I have to trust the process. Some days it's easier than others. There are days when I go on blind faith, and there are days when I feel like my stomach is like jello because it's scary. So, depends on which day you catch me, I guess. Maybe if something good happens, well, I mean, maybe something interesting will happen tomorrow. I told Linda to see if, yes, yes, I'm doing Etsy. How did I normally get listings? Oh no, it was my own thing. Hi. I know when you're in that mode, it's hard, but it's going to all work out. Oh, thanks a lot. I really am. I have to tell you, the Etsy interface is really good. Oh, thanks, Marla. I know. I know. I kind of, I kind of try to keep walking forward no matter what, but it's hard sometimes. Um, yeah, but I love the interface. of the Etsy shop once I got used to it. No, no, not anymore. They used to do it years ago. Years ago, I have to laugh because years ago, the location of your office was something that people would use to get a listing. In other words, if our town is broken up by north and south, so the minimum down payment, well, you can still get away with 10% sometimes if you've got really, if everything else is really lined up. The typical is 20%, and typical is 20%. You sometimes can do 10%, but you have to really be there in terms of earnings and everything else. And exactly, it depends upon what they qualify for. And it also depends upon how hot the house is. Because if a house is hot, if you're in a hot market, getting away with less than 20% down is difficult sometimes because since most people have that or more, it makes your deal less desirable in the mind of the seller. And it's something that the seller's agent can always use as leverage if they have their own deal. Yeah, there are all different kinds of loans. I mean, it can be absolutely any kind of loan and it's doable. But once again, when you're in a hot market, the sellers and certainly their agents do not encourage lower down payments. And it's really kind of silly because it makes no difference in the end to the seller. As long as they're qualified, as long as you make sure that they're qualified, that's all that matters. And they still do the FHA loans, and those are lower down payment. She's looking for something to take her dad in. My house. um, yeah, no, there actually have been a couple of mother-daughters setups. If she wants to do it that way, is that the way she wants to do it? They actually just got a deal on a high ranch. VA loans. Yeah, we don't do much with VA loans here, more of the FHA regular. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get a loan approved these days. They used to allow in downstate New York, we used to allow anywhere from 45 to 55 days to get a loan approval. But now you can really get it much, much faster. But here, because houses take so long to close, typically we close between 60 and 90 days from the contract. It's a long time. Her income, husband is a stay-at-home dad. So, yeah, I mean, I have good mortgage people if she wants to talk to somebody. Um, yeah, but having the place, that her father can be with her probably would be something good for her as well because she would have him right there on some levels. Yeah. Yeah, there are fees that you have to pay. It's just part of the process. I mean, I hope that they don't back out. Once again, if they made the decision to put their house on the market, the chances are they really wanted to make a move. You might have scared the hell out of them because you moved faster than they were anticipating. But once they catch their breaths and once they start looking, all they have to do is find that house that calls to them. The minute they do that, you'll be fine. Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Unless she wants to do something smaller, if she wants to do a cape and he can just live in one of the bedrooms or a ranch and he can live in one of the bedrooms. Yeah. Yeah, it all depends upon how the contract is structured. She would kill him. Yeah. And again, so many places. See, here we're an attorney state, so we have the attorneys drawing up the contracts. But in most places in the United States, that's not the case. The real estate agents do. It's a cut and dried kind of contracts, and it's fill in the blanks kind of thing. But it's not like that here. It's a very litigious state, so it has a contingent to find a suitable home. Oh, in 30 days. Oh, okay. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Sometimes you do spend more hours, many more hours. You just arrived in Oregon. Oh, aw, oh, enjoy it then. Absolutely enjoy it. Oh, and have a wonderful birthday. Oh, you did the closing workups? Yeah. Yeah, I had friends who got into that also. Yeah, I would never, I would strongly advise my sellers, yeah, my sellers and my buyers not to get involved in a contingency because it's a little scary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, if they said 30 days, so you're already out how long? Is it about 10 days or 2 weeks since it happened? I don't remember exactly when it did because you should be 2 weeks. So you only have 2 more weeks to go. And I know it's nerve wracking, but Gina, after going through the year that I went through, that should be the worst thing that happens to you. You know, I hope it's this house. I feel like it's a good house for you, but that should be the worst thing that happens to you. So yeah, 2 more weeks, and we'll keep fingers crossed for you that it goes well. Yeah, but why would she want to back out? She wants the house. Good night. Good night, Carolyn. Yeah, yeah, I mean, there are or there are not, depending. Oh, I have to tell you, I loved doing it, and people loved working with me. Oh, if the sellers can't sell. Oh, yeah, if they don't find anything. Yeah, yeah. I always felt, and the reason I got started in real estate was because when I was buying my house, it was such a strange process. And I kept saying during the whole time of looking, I could do it better. And I kept saying they weren't listening to me. They just were not hearing me. And I said I would listen. And it really did make a difference. Yeah, but sometimes they don't want to move twice. I can go in. I just don't want to get terribly depressed if I'm sitting there and everybody else is really busy and nothing is going on with me. I don't want to feel worse than I feel. Um, yeah, it's it sort of depends upon who you represent, doesn't it? Because if you represent the seller, you want to do what's best for the, you have a fiduciary responsibility that some people don't take too seriously, but I think it's a serious responsibility. Whoever your client is, you are responsible to them to act in their best interest. What did who do before the surgery? Me? Well, I don't. If it's me, I don't know what you mean. I was doing real estate, buying a house in probate. That's tough. That really is when it's in probate because it can get delayed, and then you can have a real problem. Listen, I'm doing it 32 years. I've had loads of different. I didn't go into the office all the time before the at all before the surgery for months because I was going for radiation treatments 5 days a week for 5 weeks. After that was over, I had all the appointments with all the doctors. Their sellers shouldn't have let bank do the appraisal knowing they may not sell. Yeah, see, that part of it is different here because what happens is normally the attorney who represents the buyer will have them not do the appraisal until the end of the process. They want to make sure that they qualify for the loan first, and they want to. How did I get most of my clients? I by referral. I mean, I got referrals from people I did business with for years and years and years. I would have people coming back to me 20 years later to do business with them again. But the problem was for a number of years, I did a lot of my business with sellers. And unfortunately, a lot of the sellers were moving out of the area. They were going to North Carolina, they were going to Florida, they were going to South Carolina, they were going to Texas, they were going everywhere. So that I know, I know. But it doesn't matter because it balances out, Denise. You know, there are the good ones and there are the hard ones. But in the end, I think it's you get so much psychic benefit from helping somebody, especially in a situation where it's a little deal, you know? Exactly, that was it. When they moved away, I lost the referrals. So when they were here, I got loads of them. Yeah, yeah. So am I. So it makes it kind of difficult. And I would hope that he was a perfectionist, Denise, having been a pilot. Um, I mean, I would be happy to represent anybody. I keep coming close to getting things, but every time it doesn't work for some reason, which makes me wonder why. Um, yeah, I mean, there's no place to go to do that kind of thing at this point. I am sort of I'm sort of trapped in the place that I find myself. It's really sad. I mean, it was good in the sense that I had a good enough first half of the year, and considering that I was so sick, because I found out I was diagnosed on February, the end of February. I would do well in Florida. Oh, yeah, I would definitely have fought for you. I can promise you that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I know God's trying to tell me something, but I'm a little concerned about what it is. So I'm not sure. I mean, if he's telling me it's time to go down a different road and do something else, I'm okay with that as long as I can survive. But and I'm willing to do hard work. Look, I have to tell you, I have been working my butt off doing all this stuff for all this other stuff. You have no idea what hard work it is, and and it's been ongoing. You heard him say that, huh? Yeah, I really have got to watch that. Yeah. No, I don't I agree with you, Melissa. I really don't think that that it's like a practical joke or anything. I think it's that there I get messages. I just know things. I just know things. I've known things all my life. And I was getting this message like in my head for a long time when things were going wrong. Exactly, Marla. And, and you sit here and you wait and you want it to happen and you do everything you possibly can to make it happen. And one thing after the other doesn't happen. But when things were not working out with real estate, and I was starting to get frantic, I was getting this message, it doesn't matter anyhow. It doesn't matter. And I was like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters. During the last period of time before my surgery, I had gotten a listing. It was a referral to me from an agent from out of state, and I get a lot of those too, or always did. Um, so when I got that, I had to go to the house, and my leg at that point, the tumor was huge at that point. And I had been going for my radiation, and it gets difficult after a while. After the second week, it's cumulative, so it starts to get more and more difficult. By week 4 and 5, I was in a lot of pain. I was burning. It was hard. And here I was going to this house and trying to look as if I wasn't in terrible pain. When I went to the house, I don't remember if it was the first time or the second time, we were standing and I needed desperately to sit down. But how do you say that when everybody's standing? He was wearing braces and he was standing up. And I said, why don't we all just sit down? So we did. I know I have to find a way to do it. The thing is, I have to find a way to do it without spending money. And that's the hard. If I could spend money, I could do advertising and all of that, but it's hard. It's really hard. I have to figure something out. And then the other side of the coin is, if I do it, are people going to then steal my designs because I'm putting it all out there? But it is what it is. I have to do what I have to do. And I believe me, I know that. And I have to, I must tell you, well, let me get back. I don't want to, I've had a couple of people tell me that I digress too much and I lose my train of thought and it makes it hard for them to watch. Hi. Yeah, hi. So when I was going through all of that and when I went to this house and I had done the appraisal on it and all of that, he said to me, he had spoken to 3 or 4 other people, and he said to me that he had decided to go with me. And I remember thinking, thank you, God. And I got out to my car. I sat down behind the wheel and I couldn't move for probably, yeah, I couldn't move for probably about 10 minutes. I felt like I was going to die. I felt so weak and I felt like I just couldn't make it. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I wound up doing it. I wound up staging the house. Linda helped me bring the things in. And that, my friends, that should have been videoed because, she will tell you, she's like klutzy and she doesn't like carrying things so it was interesting, but I did. I staged the house. I went there and did everything I had to do. Don't forget the house. They didn't live there. They lived out of town. It was the mother's house. So I had to be there for every showing, and it was not easy. I was negotiating on that house when I woke up from surgery the second day. I was not eating food yet. I wasn't doing anything. I was weak as can be. And I was on the phone negotiating because I couldn't say how difficult it had been. And I couldn't say that coming out of my 8.5-hour surgery made it really hard for me to do anything, but I had to do it. And thank God we got the house sold. And it carried me through what I did in the earlier part of the year, carried me through all the way till now. But, it lasts only as long as it lasts. So it was a hard patch. It's funny, I was getting a little bit down earlier, and I really believe that we get messages in unknown ways some of the time, and I thought it was really funny because a message came through on one of my phones. I don't remember if it was this phone or the other one, and no, it must have been the other one. Yeah, I think it must have been the other one because the message that came through was something about part of, oh, failure is part of the process. And I thought, isn't that interesting? So it was like, I felt like the message was telling me, don't get down and don't be disappointed. And it's true, people who have been hugely successful, yeah, a lot of people do that. But how a lot of people meet their agents at open houses. They'll go to an open house and the agent will try to get them to work with them. Didn't you have agents doing that with you? Because typically that's what happens a lot. It really happens a lot. And yeah, see, for me, yeah, and that's the way it goes. And then, of course, when you're doing open houses, the people who have met agents and have gotten connected with those agents will then come into your open house and say, I'm working with so and so, so you don't have a chance to work with them. So it's an interesting kind of thing. You constantly are. But as I say, I guess I felt really lucky because it didn't matter what the market was doing when the market was up, when the market was down. I just had a steady flow of business for all the years, so I kind of took it for granted. And unfortunately, by taking it for granted, I stopped doing some of the things that I used to do to get new business. Now, what I was spending a lot of money on marketing, a lot of money, and I had to give it all up. I did some of it until very recently. I was hanging in with it, but I couldn't make the payments anymore because there was no money coming in to cover it. So I felt as if I was giving up little pieces of me one at a time. It's good down there? Yeah. Yes, it happens a lot here too. Yeah. I mean, you're a dual agent, then, so you can do a lot of things. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think we're having a good discussion tonight, Patty, and kind of talking about housing and real estate and the difficulties and all of that. Yeah, I mean, there are people who don't. It's very common here. It always has been. No, property. Yes, I know, absolutely. Property management. I actually had been asked to do property management a couple of times. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, you can be loyal. You can be loyal to both parties with one caveat. You cannot disclose anything that either party tells you in confidence so that, and I have no problem with that. Oh, yeah. I mean, and it can be very hard. It really can be very hard. I think the biggest difficulty, I used to feel blessed to do what I do. Really? I know it's complicated in the UK. Oh, oh. Yeah, I know they have all of those things that they go through after the contract there because these dear friends of mine lived in London before they moved to the States, and I was helping them to get their first house here, and they were telling me about all the things they were going through. with the place in London. Yeah, yeah. That's the leasehold. The market is insane. Wow, wow, wow. In 1951, wow. Which house was that? Just a house? Hi, Nona. Well, I'm so glad you didn't miss it. I'm happy to see you as well. I'm glad you were able to make it. So, yes, it does. The question is when. When I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, but here, well, I do because I know agents in other parts of the country. But when there's a downturn, it can get pretty hairy for quite a long time. The market tends to go like this, it does. And it will be hot for a number of years, and then it'll start to cool off, and then it'll get ice cold for sometimes a good long while before it starts to come back again. And it makes it difficult for people when they get caught in that curve. So it's hard, and it's funny because here the sellers have been in the driver's seat for a while now. It's funny, I did a blog post years ago when the market turned from a very hot market into a cool market. It's a buyer's market. Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't you know it in the town that you're buying in? Yeah. When it's a buyer's market, obviously the buyers are happy. When it's a seller's market, the sellers are happy. And the sellers, it takes them a while to get that they're no longer in that kind of a market. Yeah, yeah. It sort of is what it is. It's a great investment long term. If you can do it long term and if you can hang in through the bad times, it's a very good investment. Yeah. Oh, swell. Wow. Yeah. I would not, I would not personally, and she can do whatever works for her. I would prefer to get a condo than a co-op because co-ops have other issues that can affect people who live there because of the way it's structured, because they don't own the property over the asking price. That's great. That really is great. We used to have that a lot here until the banks got killed years ago. Co-op, you own shares. You own shares in a corporation, but what happens is if people move out, then their part of the maintenance has to be covered. There are all kinds of things that issues that there are with a co-op that there are not with a condo. So, and I had a co-op years ago, and I was lucky because I was renting the apartment when it turned co-op. So I got in at a very, very low price, and it was because of that that I was able to buy my house. But it was scary then. I had a one-bedroom apartment, and I remember being terrified to buy it because I kept thinking, who is going to buy a one-bedroom apartment? I'm going to be stuck living here for the rest of my life. Of course, I was not in real estate at the time and I didn't know any better. But I remember there was a final day that you could buy at that insider price. And it was a Friday, and the cutoff was 5 o'clock on Friday. At 5 to 5 on Friday, I was pacing back and forth in front of the management office, and I finally went in and I bought it, and it was the best thing I ever did. And by that time, my mother had moved into the next building, and she didn't buy hers right away. Oh, hi, how are you? So she didn't buy hers right away, and it wound up costing her a little bit more, but it was a good thing because we both did well in a very short period of time. And then that's how I got the house, and that was wonderful. My God, when I first got this house, I was paying 32 years ago, so it's a long time ago. I was paying, I think it was $325 a month for my apartment, the rent, and that included gas and electric. I was one of the lucky ones because most places you paid extra for that, but in our building it was included. The only thing I paid extra for was a parking spot because parking was a premium. It was bad news parking in any of the boroughs. So they had alternate street parking, and it was just a nightmare. So coming from that, oh, they did? Uh, I went from that to suddenly having to pay, I think it was something like 12 or 1300 for a mortgage payment in the beginning when I first got the house. And it was just such an astonishing jump from where it was that it took a lot of getting used to. And then time went by, and I decided I actually I had worked well. I went from Sotheby's into I was working as an administrative assistant to the administrator of the hospital, and then the hospital got sold, and they brought in all their own people. And it was like, I said, oh, this is enough. So that's when I started in real estate. You manage your own properties. Yeah. Yeah, yes, exactly. It is tiring. There's a lot to do. When things go wrong, you get the calls and all of that. But yeah, and property management can be tough depending upon how many properties you have and how, where they're located from each other. Wow, 1250 a month. Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful. That's a gift. That really is a gift. Yeah. Yep. I mean, things here just went up and up and up and up over the years. So, yes. And all the things that go wrong. And you can get a call in the middle of the night if something goes wrong with the heat or any of the stuff. It's not an easy thing to do. It's really not. Oh, yeah, that does make it easier. But for me, I was so happy to leave the apartment and move into a house. Uh-huh, yes. Yeah, and working for attorneys definitely does help. And I know so many attorneys at this point, although there's one that I've been using myself for years and years. And it's just been that way. I used his father before him, and it's a lot of time. So much of my life was in this business, but I loved it because not only did I love the work that I did, when the people were happy at the end of the process, it made me so happy for them. Yeah, yeah, that is good. And yeah, it definitely is good when a house has been maintained well. And it's funny because I keep having dreams, and I have had for a long time. And in the dreams, I'm always moving. And in the dream, the move is always a mistake because there's something wrong with the place and it's not in good shape and things are not right. So I've taken that to mean that the move would have been a mistake at that moment in time. So it kind of is what it is. And when I was talking to Linda today, it's kind of it's hard because she is such a depressed person so much of the time. I mean, I can get her out of it sometimes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I can see you doing that, Sandy, absolutely. So, yeah, but I guess it's like life. You just move on. What is that about Linda? Thanks. She just gets really depressed and she doesn't want to do anything. I mean, she can stay in bed for days at a time. She cannot get dressed for days at a time. And I'm pretty good at getting her out of it some of the time. She does take meds for it. She does. She takes, oh, she's taken so many, I forgot what she's on now. She used to be on I'm trying to remember what it's called. Yeah, it's really hard when you are depressed to force yourself. No, she's always been this way. She will tell you it's since she lost her husband, and that was 11 years ago. Not Prozac. She took Xanax. What's the thing? Amlodipine? What is that? She took Xanax, but there's something stronger than that now. Her daughter, yeah, her daughter moved to that island. And I said, Linda, don't worry about her being there. When she told me about it, and then when I read it up about it, and I showed all of you what it was like there, I said, there is no way that her daughter is going to stay there. Zoloft? No. No. Um, Begins with a C, maybe? So to make a long story short, she was there for a very short time, and Linda called me to tell me she's back in LA. She couldn't live there. She didn't have a car. She couldn't get around. A lot of people, I think, have seasonal depression. Yeah, that's Alexa. Hi, how are you, Dolores? Um, oh, what the heck is the name? It sounds something like that. Yeah, I think it does. It's something like that. I don't remember not Cymbalta. No. No, and she was taking something to go to sleep. She said to me recently, she said, "Oh, I fall asleep right away." I said, "Of course you do. You take a pill." And I think sometimes she's had to take a second pill. That's it. That's the one. Klonopin. That's it. Son of a gun. Exactly. It was making her depressed. She finally was having to wean herself off of it. She's had her meds changed a few times. She really has. And she goes to, the problem is, she goes to her regular doctor and then she goes to a psychiatrist. I guess she has to do that in order to get the pills. Oh, I don't know. It's anti-anxiety, but that's the one she takes. It's Klonopin. I remember her saying that. No, she's not manic depressive. No, she's just depressed. It's like, it's, as I say, it's been that way as long as I know her. She she will come out of it sometimes. I think, and I told her this. I said during the time that I needed her and that she was there for me and she was running with me every day was one of the best times for her because she didn't have time to dwell on her issues. Yeah. I don't think she smokes weed because I don't think she's been able to get it. But she kept trying to get me to get it. She kept telling me, you can get it. It's one, you really need it. When I was going through the radiation therapy, she said, it's legal. You can get it. I said, but I don't want it. Why would I get it? So, yeah. Paxil? No. Celexa? She's taken, I mean, they've had her on different medications, and they have switched her medications from time to time. Also, yeah, Effexor and Klonopin. Oh, no high, I know. I know. Trying to think of, something I just realized. I forgot to take my high blood pressure medication tonight because I'm starting to feel a little funny. That's really funny. Yeah, right. Yeah, fat chance for that. Yeah, I better take it. Otherwise, I'm going to be like really swaying here. Totally forgot. I'm telling, well, I got up very late today because I didn't get to bed till after 3. So, oh, by the way, if somebody at some point can take a look at my regular store, you're on Paxil? Yeah. Yeah, I don't, I've never taken any of that stuff, so I have no idea. I took, what is that called? That's hilarious. I know. Well, yes and yes. I take different ones. I take my 5 milligrams of, what do you call it? That's hilarious. My 5 milligrams. I can't even think straight now. Um, Amlodipine. Yeah, the amlodipine in the morning, and then I take my 2.5 milligrams of Bistolic at night. You looked at the store? No, but today I added a few. Uh, I added, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 plus size leggings because stop what? Stop laughing about, stop kidding about it, or stop the video and take it. I'm not sure what stop means. I really, would you mind if I stop for a minute and go take it, or should I just get off? What do you think? You decide. Absolutely, I will pray for you. I think it's all going to work out, Gina. I really do. You're going to be in your house. No. Oh, yes, I did about a wedding stuff. Yeah, I have to go take it. All right, so do you want to hang out while I go take it? Okay. Okay. So give me a minute because I have to cut the pill in half because I have the 10 milligram tablets. Okay, so talk to each other for a minute or two. So bear with me while I go get it. Okay. I'm sorry, it took way longer than I thought because I had the pill cutter in one room and I had the medication in the other room. The little boy at the mall. What was that? Oh, look at this. Is this hilarious? This is what I took to wash it down. What, yeah, what happened to the boy? Was there something about a railing? Yes, I'm having my hazelnut truffle. See? No, and the dog's looking for me like the dog. Well, you know how that goes. Uh-huh. You were talking real, oh, yeah, we were talking. You had those today too? Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, Pat. I saw the prayer request, but somebody threw him off? Oh, my God. Oh, God bless him. Oh, my God. What kind of sick people? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I cannot even imagine. Were his parents with him? They don't know who did it? That is one sick. Oh, God. Oh, that's awful. Good. Washes the pill down really well. You've been to that? They caught him running away? Oh my God. I'm gonna have a second one. No, stop, baby. I can't give it to you. I can't give you chocolate, honey. I know, but oh my God. That's exactly it. It is evil. That there is such evil in the world. You'll never get fat watching me eat. I am indeed bad. I am absolutely indeed bad, and oh my, oh my, oh my. You do? I used to walk at the mall too. Now I can't. This is good. I love peppermint patties. I used to love to go to the mall. Now it's like I would have a panic attack if I had to go to the mall. When the boys were in last summer, my daughter-in-law, yes, they are. That's why I was showing it to you. Good. It's really good. However, as good as it is, you still have to try the Van Lees. You really do. It's to die for. You ate the whole bag? No, I'm going to be good. I'm going to stop at 2 because I run the risk of a very bad punishment if I don't. So you heard Roosevelt got really, what, fancy? Oh my God, did you have them? Pat, did you eat them? Did you try them? I kept thinking about the people at that address. Or did they send them back to you? You're on your third, but are they unbelievable? They're to die for. They really are. There's nothing that compares with them. It's like they melt in your mouth. Oh, they returned them. Oh, wow. I kept envisioning them, eating them, and I was closing my eyes and I was picturing them just absolutely enjoying every morsel. It's the texture. I know. I know. It melts in your mouth. It has that sort of, because it has the chocolate, what do you call it? Spritzed on, you know, like velvet. That's exactly it. It's like velvet. And then it melts. And you go, what was that? Yeah, I know a lot of people. Linda loves Nutella out of the jar. Exactly like velvet. That's a perfect description. It is. When I had it at that party, at the Christmas party, I tasted one, sort of nonchalantly taking it. It was tiny, so I thought, oh, you know, big nothing. Yes, we're on food. So, I took it and I thought nothing of it. And then it was like, what is that? I had to go back and take a sec. I must have had 5 or 6 of them. They're tiny. But, oh my God, it was so good. It was so bloody good. Oh, that's what we were talking about before I left to take my pill, about the thing that you sent me, Denise. Oh, your whole family's addicted? How could you not be? It's just the best thing in creation. Exactly. Exactly. They're just so bloody special. They really are. I think I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna get should I? Maybe. Maybe I will. What was, I know you sent me the thing about the plus size brides. Hi, Lauren. Yes, about the plus size brides thing, but I'm not sure what I could do with that. Yeah, but I didn't want you to have to buy them again, Pat. I really didn't. I mean, it was a very, very sweet thought, but I almost went into that place, though, I swear. I almost went in there to say, did you enjoy them? It's a good thing I didn't if they sent it back to you. So, yeah. Yes. So that's why today I went on. Oh, no, Aldi's doesn't carry it. They carry this brand. The, what is this? Moseroth. But the other one, no. I looked, believe me. The, oh shoot, now I did lose my train of thought. Oh, the large women. Yeah, I know. But I made leggings up to, I think it's up to 5X. I think so. And the model that they have is really, really large around the hips. And then she seems to narrow down at her knees. So I thought if it would look good on her, that it was probably a good choice of pattern and whatever. I did a few in solid colors, and then I did 2 in patterns, and I thought both of those patterns worked well for the size. I really did. So I'm just curious to know what other people think. because I think everybody has a right to be able to wear things that are comfortable and to still feel good about themselves. So, yeah, so I added maybe, I don't remember how many, maybe 5 or 6 pair. I know I did like a medium blue, I did a dark brown, I did a black, and I did 2 prints that I thought really looked pretty good for the size. You too. So, yeah, it's, I definitely want to do that because I also noticed on Etsy that they were doing a lot of the plus size in the leggings. So I thought that I should have that too. But I know, listen, I know, I was thinking of putting some stuff on Pinterest, but then I thought Pinterest would probably be a great place for the thieves to go look and say, oh, I'll just copy all of these. I saw something, FabFit, I saw something come out with them. Um, yeah, I forgot what it was. Good night, Ange. Take care and have a good night. Sleep well. Um, been on TV. What's been on TV? You good at sleeping? Good. I'm glad. You certainly don't seem to do too much of it nighttime. Although, as I said, you know, when I started, yeah, they had a sale. I saw they had a sale 2 for 1. It came across my phone. Fabletics or something. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because not only would I not earn money, I would be paying money. So that is not a possibility. They make it very expensive for what they do. They actually would be connected to my name, which I thought could make it worse if any one of those crazy people who steals that stuff were on there. I think I want to try to, I don't know, they said I could set up a business account on Instagram. So I was thinking of doing that and seeing. The problem is I'm trying to learn, I feel like I'm taking an MBA and I'm taking it over a weekend. That's what it feels like. I feel like I'm having to learn this whole new language fast. And, you know, it's funny. Whenever I talk to, hold on. I know. I know I'm spreading myself too thin. But it's like when you get nervous and you don't know which way to go. I said I sometimes feel like a roach that's been spotted by a human, and I'm running all over the place because I don't know where to go. Bad clothing industry news. Oh, swell. Okay, what's going on tonight with all of this nonsense? I guess we must have suddenly appealed to them. So it is what it is. Oh, all right. I'm thinking maybe I should end this anyway because even though I took the pill, I'm feeling a little bit loopy by now. Not loopy exactly, but not great. Instagram business. Oh, they are great. Yeah, that would be good. So maybe I could do that. Oh yes, they are. Well, they have all these businesses that sell clothes. No sales for you on Etsy? I know. I know. And it's way too soon to tell because the only people who have bought my clothes are you sweet people. So there's no way that I can know at this point what's going to happen with it. And the truth is, I know that I would do well if I could buy more of my own pieces and wear them because they look good. They really look good. So I think, that if people see it, but that gets pricey. So it's kind of a hard way for me to go right now. No, I don't. I think, if I'm telling you, if I were able to do a real estate deal or two on Poshmark, oh, oh, yeah. I guess sometimes it's going to be good on one, sometimes it's going to be good on the other. Yeah, I have to figure it all out. I will, but it is what it is. Lots of legging competition. No, no, it's not high at all, Sandy. I looked on Etsy and all the people who were doing the same ones as mine, their prices were higher than mine. Yes. Yes, I'm sure that that's true, Lauren, that they are different. Really? Wow. So I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to work out, but I will try to put a few of my things on Poshmark as soon as I get. Oh, do I need poly? Do I need poly bags to send the stuff? You had 25 messages overnight. Is that from other people doing it? Really? Good, thank you. I am getting a headache. Wow, I really am. Son of a gun. Maybe it was the pill and the chocolate. Yeah. So is that messages from other people who sell on there? Is that it? Oh, oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that even when I signed up for it. Yes, agreed. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to have to go tonight, folks. I'm feeling strange. So, yeah, I will do this again. And I've got to stay off the bloody computer. I get hooked on it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Stephen. You can come join us again, and you're certainly welcome to do that. But tonight, I'm getting a headache. Yes. Okay. All right. Take care.